This is NDTV and you're watching NDTV Prime.
Another startup also working with the defense space and using drones to do the same is the 5-year-old startup Omnipresent Technologies, and I am now standing here with the founder of this company, Mr. Akash Sinha. So to begin with, sir, for the benefit of our audience, can you tell me what Omnipresent Technologies does with the types of drones that you all develop?
So we develop drones with one big focus on safety,
Okay.
extreme performance,
Okay.
and amazing reliability. Now, that is something that flows into drones as well as many other robots that we do.
Right.
So, if you see the one over here,
Yes.
we've got 7 levels of fail-safe in this one.
7 levels of
Yeah.
fail-safe.
So,
Okay.
but basically, the drone is virtually crash-proof.
I understand that you use these drones with the BSF, the DRDO and Northern Command. So what do these drones do at the border areas for these different organizations?
So the key thing for border organizations is to figure out if there is an intrusion happening around the border, especially areas that are inaccessible,
Right.
or during night,
Okay.
or that are too risky to go in.
Okay.
Also, the other thing drones can do is to tell you what's happening on the other side,
On the other side of the border?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that is especially possible because we use some very high zoom cameras, almost 50x type zoom cameras that can
Okay.
look almost a kilometer ahead
Okay.
with a lot of clarity. Yeah.
Okay. And what other kinds of drone technologies do you all also develop? I know you all have other robot technologies as
Yeah.
well for the military applications.
So, we are actually a robotics company, and
Right.
drones are flying robots for us.
Correct.
But we also doing robots for that operate on land, in water,
Okay.
and in space.
Okay.
So, when
So you're covering all grounds, land,
yeah,
water and
yeah,
space.
that's why we are
everything.
omnipresent.
You're omnipresent, yes. We've covered the space, the airborne. So what about land? How do the land ones
So on the
work?
land, we developed a robot for DRDO that can do bomb disposal.
Okay.
And so, if you think about it, basically the robot does everything that a bomb squad person has to do.
Okay.
But, if a robot blows up, you don't have to write a letter to its mother.
Absolutely.
So it helps.
So it minimizes the human risk over there of the person
it minimizes
defusing a bomb.
the risk of life.
Yes.
And I think that's very important.
Yeah.
A lot of our soldiers risk a lot, they're everything to this. So,
And what about underwater? I see this looks like the underwater drone.
Yeah,
so
so
what
this
about
one
this
is kind of out in repairs right now, but but this one goes in water.
Okay.
And it started with river cleaning. So
Okay.
we actually cleaned pieces of Ganga and Yamuna with this one.
Okay.
And but then it also has other applications like doing surveillance in international waters.
Okay.
And perhaps even fishing, where a lot of our fishermen get caught in international waters. So that's another area. In fact, recently we've also been thinking how we can upgrade it, perhaps to address problems like oil spills, which has recently happened.
Very interesting.
So
you've been working with so many military organizations, with the BSF at the border, with the DRDO. You've also worked with the Northern Command. So has this process been easy as an entrepreneur in the defense space?
I think the process is never easy. If it was easy, everybody would have been being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
I think it always takes a little bit of craziness and a little bit of that extra perseverance that you have to go through and just believe that it's going to work out.
Okay.
So it hasn't been easy, but I think like with anything, if you stick long enough with it, you find ways out, and
Absolutely.
that's what happened.
Okay. But do you think the BSF, the DRDO, the Northern Command are welcoming to startups and their technology?
I think that things have changed quite a bit in last few years.
Okay.
And the norms of bidding have become very transparent. Also, a lot of times earlier defense tenders used to have some sort of a limit as to this is how much your turnover must be in order to bid this, and those kind of things we've seen disappear.
Yes.
Yet I think there are a lot of other things that can be done. Just to give you an example, in US there's a program called Small Business Innovation Research.
Small Business Innovation Research. Okay.
Yeah, and so there the government excludes any big company from bidding certain types of projects.
Okay.
So in fact 2% of their military budget is allocated only for small companies.
Okay.
Now that kind of thing spuns like more than 5,000 companies every year in US.
In the US.
In the defense. I mean things like internet and stealth jet technology have come out of such programs. So I think those are some of the things that government needs to do for smaller companies here as well.
And do you think that the Indian government has taken a step towards bringing startups into the defense fold, or there's a long way to go for India to actually promote the startup defense culture?
I think some of the steps are encouraging.
Okay.
And with the new Make program that has come up,
Yes.
It definitely
You're
looks,
referring to Make in India?
Yeah.
Okay.
It definitely looks very encouraging.
Okay.
I just feel like this process will smoothen up maybe over next 5 or 10 years, but it is going to take time.
And in terms of knowing what exactly to give this defense space, what technology to develop, what are the problems that need solving, what kind of groundwork and what kind of research does it take, what kind of R&D goes behind figuring out the problem to solve it?
So one of my biggest lessons here has been that we can do a lot of designing here in the lab.
Yes, exactly.
But when we went to LOC, when we went to Baramulla, and we were flying there, and I think that gives us a lot of learning, which is sometimes difficult to get here.
Okay.
But when you put yourself in the shoes of the soldier and you see the world from their eyes.
At these border areas, you have between -50 to +60 degrees, you have high altitudes, there can be avalanches, landslides. So how do you develop technology that can cater to all these unpredictable terrains and weathers and climates?
Yeah, I mean, so our approach has always been to take the worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario. Okay.
And so for example, when we build 7 levels of fail-safe, it's like complete worst case,
Okay.
And then we design it for about 50 kilometers of wind tolerance.
Okay. So
And
every possible problem, you make a list and then you try solving it all at once.
And I think that really helps because, there will always be occasions
right.
when things will go wrong.
Yes, of course.
And that's a difference in, designing for something for defense as opposed to, something for consumers.
Okay. And finally, I would like to ask you, as an entrepreneur in the defense space, one of the biggest challenges that you've had and one piece of advice to other entrepreneurs that want to come into this space.
Even when I started, I thought, okay, I'm starting, now I'm going to really change the world in about a year's time.
Right.
But honestly, if I didn't think that way, I probably wouldn't have started. If somebody told me it's going to take you 4 or 5 years to really do anything in this space,
correct,
I would have said, let me just stick to my cushy
But
job.
it's all about perseverance.
So I sometimes feel that maybe it's not even good idea to advise entrepreneurs. If you if they believe crazily in something,
right,
let them go ahead and try it out.
So thank you so much, sir. So you just heard from Mr. Akash Sinha, one of the 3 co-founders of Omnipresent Technologies. Thank you for watching Startup Wednesday, and do write into us at startup@ndtv.com or tweet to us at @Mindspace.
Catch the heads-up episodes you might have missed during the week at these times only on NDTV Prime.